The British media's relentless focus on the personal and professional lives of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle has reached absurd levels. Every minor event within the Sussex camp is treated as breaking news, and this week is no different. The latest development involves Harry and Meghan's Chief of Staff, Josh Kettler, leaving his position after only 3 months. As expected, the British media, particularly Richard Eden of the Daily Mail, pounced on the story with thinly veiled glee. Eden's reporting is an example of how the media twists ordinary professional decisions into sensationalized narratives that attempt to undermine Harry and Meghan. Eden's article is filled with insinuations and speculation, attempting to paint Kettler's departure as yet another failure on the part of Harry and Meghan. Eden writes, Mr. Kettler's very brief time in his position highlights the difficulties that the Duke and Duchess have had retaining staff. He further implies that the couple's inability to keep staff is indicative of deeper issues within their camp, suggesting a pattern of dysfunction and instability. However, the truth, as reported by People magazine, is far less dramatic. According to the magazine, Kettler was hired on a trial basis, and the decision to part ways was mutual. Both sides agreed that it wasn't the right fit, and they handled the situation like adults. This is a far cry from the narrative Eden is trying to push, which seeks to portray Harry and Meghan as difficult employers who can't keep staff. The British media's obsession with Harry and Meghan's staffing decisions is not only exaggerated, but also deeply hypocritical. While every staff departure from the Sussex camp makes headlines, the same level of scrutiny is not applied to the staffing issues within the royal household, particularly with William and Kate. The media is quick to report on Harry and Meghan's staff changes, but remains conspicuously silent when it comes to the frequent staff turnover in Kensington Palace. For instance, within the past few months, Prince William has been vocal about his plans to hire a palace CEO to handle his chief executive work. However, this plan hit a snag when his private secretary, Jean-Christophe Gray, quit his position. This was followed by Kate Middleton's struggles to retain a private secretary for over 18 months, leading Buckingham Palace to assign 2 new private secretaries to William and Kate. Despite these significant developments, the media's coverage has been minimal, with most outlets choosing to focus on the positive spin of William and Kate's hiring processes rather than their inability to retain staff. The double standard is glaring. When Harry and Meghan part ways with an employee, it's framed as evidence of their incompetence or difficulty as employers. When William and Kate face similar staffing issues, it's either not reported or presented as a positive change. This selective reporting reveals the media's bias and agenda in shaping public perception of the Sussexes. The reality is that staff turnover is a normal phenomenon in any professional environment. Particularly within high-pressure roles, employees leave for a variety of reasons, and it's not always a reflection of the employers themselves. In the case of Josh Kettler, it's important to recognise that not every hire is a perfect fit, and parting ways on mutual terms is a responsible and professional decision. It's also worth noting that Kettler was hired on a trial basis, which indicates that both parties were assessing whether the role was suitable for him. Moreover, the British media's fixation on the number of staff members who have left Harry and Meghan's employment since their marriage in 2018 conveniently ignores the fact that the couple has gone through significant life changes during that time. From their decision to step back from royal duties to their move to California and their ongoing philanthropic work, the Sussexes have had to navigate uncharted territory. These changes undoubtedly impact their staffing needs, and it's entirely reasonable for them to make adjustments as they settle into their new roles. In contrast, the media's lack of scrutiny towards William and Kate's staffing challenges perpetuates the myth that they are flawless and untouchable figures. This is far from the truth. The frequent turnover within their office suggests that they too face challenges in maintaining a stable team. Yet, this reality is glossed over in favour of narratives that portray them as model royals. The British media's fixation on Harry and Meghan's staffing issues is part of a broader agenda to undermine the couple's credibility and reputation. Since their departure from royal duties, the media has seized every opportunity to portray them in a negative light. Whether it's criticising their decisions, questioning their motives, or scrutinising their personal lives, the media has made it clear that they are determined to bring down the Sussexes. Richard Eden's article is a prime example of this agenda. By framing Kettler's departure as a blow to Harry and Meghan, Eden is attempting to sow doubt about their ability to manage their affairs. He even goes so far as to suggest that Kettler's departure will negatively impact their upcoming quasi-royal tour of Colombia, as if the success of their tour hinges on the presence of one individual. This type of sensationalism is not only misleading, but also harmful. It perpetuates a narrative that Harry and Meghan are incompetent and unable to function without constant turmoil. The reality is that they have successfully established themselves as independent figures who are committed to their causes and their family. Their staffing decisions should be viewed through the lens of their ongoing efforts to build a life that aligns with their values and goals, rather than as evidence of failure. What the media fails to acknowledge is that Harry and Meghan are pioneers in redefining what it means to be royal in the modern era. Their decision to step back from royal duties and carve out their own path was a bold move that challenged centuries of tradition. While their journey has not been without its challenges, they have remained steadfast in their commitment to using their platform for good. Their upcoming tour of Colombia is a testament to their dedication to making a positive impact on the world. Rather than being bogged down by the constant media scrutiny, Harry and Meghan are focusing on important issues such as mental health, gender equality, and environmental conservation. Their work is a reminder that royalty is about more than just titles and ceremonies. It's about using one's influence to effect meaningful change. The media's obsession with their staffing decisions distracts from the important work they are doing. It's a deliberate attempt to shift the narrative away from their accomplishments and towards trivial matters that have little bearing on their overall impact. By focusing on the negative, the media is missing the bigger picture. Harry and Meghan are reshaping the role of royalty in a way that is relevant and resonant in today's world. Josh Kettler's departure, like any other staffing change, is a normal part of running an organisation. The Sussexes are handling their affairs with professionalism and grace, and they should be given the same respect that is afforded to other public figures. The constant scrutiny of their every move serves no purpose other than to perpetuate a negative narrative that is both unfair and unfounded. The British media's double standard when it comes to covering the Sussexes versus the rest of the royal family is a reflection of a deeper issue: the unwillingness to accept that Harry and Meghan have chosen a different path. But as they continue to forge their own way, it's becoming increasingly clear that their decision was the right one. They are proving that royalty is not about adhering to tradition for tradition's sake, but about evolving to meet the needs of a changing world. And in doing so, they are setting an example that the rest of the royal family would do well to follow.